Hey everyone, it's Bill McCafferty here. Today is Friday, March 13th, 2020. Hope you had a great week. Hope your day's going well. Hope you got a lot accomplished, and I hope you're doing well with everything. I missed last week's episode, had a lot of things going on, had a lot of business family-wise to take care of, so I'm excited to be back on today for episode number 8, A Day in the Life of an Asset Manager / Note Investor. So like we do in every episode, let's get rolling on the asset management portfolio and kind of review everything that's going on. As of today, I have 117 non-performing notes in the asset management portfolio. A majority of those 117 non-performing notes are non-performing seconds. I do have some non-performing first that I'm working, but mostly they're non-performing seconds. New files that I brought in over the last 2 weeks. 2 new files from an existing client. One's in Massachusetts and one is in Minnesota. I did not send out any loss mitigation forms. I did receive and processed one loss mitigation form. Not great, but that's okay. There's a lot of other good things going on. That loss mitigation form that I did receive and processed, I sent those options out to the borrower, just waiting to hear back from them on what payment plan that they want to go with. New loan mod sent out, or new payoff that I sent out, 0. Once again, not a great number. We like that number to be, 1, 2 every single week, so there's constant flow. But once again, not a big deal, because what I'm excited about is I processed 2 loan mods over the last 2 weeks. So I got those situated with the homeowner, the servicer, my client, closed down the foreclosures with the attorney. But what I like is I have 5 new loan modifications due back over the next 2 weeks. So that'll be good. Get those 5 in over the next 2 weeks. Get those processed, get clients situated, get the homeowners situated. And they're the numbers that I like. I like to see that number 5 there. That's a good number over the next couple weeks. We did have one foreclosure sale over the last 2 weeks in New Jersey. That was a sale that we actually postponed a month ago. We got that resolved with the homeowner. They got me all their documentation and their arrears check the day before the sale, so we were able to get that canceled and get that deal situated with my client and to get that situated with the homeowner. So that's kind of what's going on with the asset management portfolio. Once again, that's a very active portfolio. It takes a lot of my time and effort. That's a very active business that I work in to keep things moving. In my own portfolio, just making sure homeowners are staying on top of their payments, keeping things moving. A couple weeks ago, I talked about a big payoff that I had. So, between a few things getting settled in, and dealing with a lot of family stuff right now. Just letting everything settle in. Probably come later this month or April, I'll be due to make some purchases on some reperformers and some non-performing notes. With tax time and all, I just funded my health savings account and I funded some of my IRAs. So like I said, over the next month, I'll be letting a lot of things settle in, and I'll be in the market to purchase some seconds. So that is what's going on in both portfolios. Today I wanted to come on and not give a case study. I'm going to actually talk about a strategy and a technique that I utilize and that I think is one of the most powerful strategies in real estate, and specifically in the mortgage note business. We're going to talk about what are called note partials. You can refer to it as a note partial purchase if you're buying it, or you can refer to it as a note partial sale if you're going to be actually selling it. So let's go into detail what that actually is. So let's just talk some numbers here. I own a second mortgage, a reperforming second mortgage on a property. When I worked that non-performing loan out and I got it reperforming, the terms that I agreed to with the homeowner, let's just say that the loan balance, the unpaid principal balance on the second mortgage was $40,000, $40K. The term that we agreed to was 20 years, 240 months. We agreed to an 8% interest rate, and the monthly payment on those terms is $334.58. So that is what the homeowner and I agreed to. We're moving forward. They're paying on their $40K every month when they pay that $334.58. Some goes to interest, some goes to principal. So over that period, over those 240 months, they'll pay that loan off. So what I like to do when I sell note partials, I like to let my note season a little bit. Seasoning is getting some payments to make sure that loan is under control, homeowner's paying it, and everything's moving forward. So in this example, I'm going to say a homeowner made 48 payments. They paid me for 4 years on this $40,000 loan. So after 48 months, I decided I'm going to sell a note partial. So they paid 48 months. They owed me 240 months. So right now they have 192 payments left. And that loan balance has been paid down. That 40K is probably more, in the mid 30s right now after that. Probably not that low, but, probably 37, 38 grand after 48 payments. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to an investor of mine, somebody that's looking for a very passive return on their money. They don't want to really do a lot of work. They just want a return on their money. So I'm going to offer to sell them a note partial. I'm going to offer to sell them a stream of payments off this existing second mortgage note that I own. So what we're going to talk about and what we agreed to is I'm going to sell this note investor a $15,000, a 15K partial. So what that means is that investor is going to give me $15,000. And what that investor is going to get, they're going to get the next 57 payments, right? So I'm owed 192 payments from this note still. They're going to get the next 57 payments of $334.58. And when you calculate that, I actually utilize what's called the 10BII financial calculator. It's an awesome tool. You can download the app on your phone for $5. It's one of the most powerful calculators that I use. When I first got into this business, I used to hear an investor say, a real seasoned note investor would always say, you're truly not making money in the note business until you're playing with the top 5 buttons. And I really never understood what that meant until I got deep into the business and I started understanding partials and I started buying them and selling them. But in the 10BII financial calculator, there are 5 buttons that will help you calculate yield and return and allow you to break it down. So in that calculator, I can actually put the amount of the investment, $15,000 in there. I put the monthly payment because we know the monthly payment, which is $334.58. My investor and I talked about a 10% yield for them on that 15K. So we put the 10% yield in. And the last button the last number that we don't know yet is the amount of payment. So when I calculate that, that shoots out 57 payments. So what that looks like is the investor gives me 15 grand. Over the next 57 months, the investor is going to receive a payment of $334.58. Some of that every month will be principal towards his 15K. The other part will be interest, which after 57 months, he'll be able to get that 10% yield on his $15,000. Now, what is awesome there is the investor gets a nice investment. It's very secure. When I sell a note partial on a second, I want to make sure that the first is solid. The fair market value of the house. Let me say this again. So there's a first mortgage, and then the fair market value of the house. I want to make sure my second mortgage is completely covered in equity. So if something does happen, or a homeowner decides to sell the property or refinance, our loan gets paid off and everybody's situated. I do not sell partials on seconds that are partial equity or no equity. I don't find those safe. So an investor that wants a very safe passive return, I'm making sure my second is completely covered in equity. So what will happen over the 57 months is the loan balance will be paid down, the investor gets paid back, and I have that $15K that I can go do whatever I want with. I can reinvest that. I can utilize some for my portfolio to keep it moving. I can do whatever I want. That is my $15K. The investor gets the next 57 payments, right? If you remember, I said I had 192 payments left on those 240 payments. So when the investor is paid back after 57 months, the power of the note partial is I still own the back 135 payments of that mortgage note. That there, my friend, is a very powerful strategy and the most powerful technique that I know in the note business. So let's just recap that real quick. An investor got a nice passive yield, 10% on his 15K over a 57-month period. I was able to take that 15K and reinvest it into my portfolio. I made sure over the 57-month period, my investor got paid his payment every month. After 57 months, my investor was paid off. He got his 15K back plus his 10% yield. And I still owned the back 135 payments of that mortgage note. I hope you enjoyed it. Finish off the day strong. Finish off the week strong. Get ready for the weekend. Enjoy it, rejuvenate, and have a good one. I'll see you.